Hey everyone, how you doing? If you are new here, I'm Nicol Concilio and welcome to the video. First video of 2019, how you doing? I'm so excited. I got blue hair or purple. You know, it looks different in every light. I had a follower of mine, a subby, tell me that my hair is kind of like that dress. Is it black and blue? Is it white and gold? Or whatever the hell it was. And it just made me laugh because it's so true. I have no idea what the hell color this is. Blue. It looks blue now, but yeah, I'm really excited to be filming. 2019 is going to be amazing. If you are new here, make sure you are subscribed because we're going to be pushing out some content this year. Oh, that was so bad. My voice still sucks. We are going to be reviewing / testing out the Morphe Fluidity foundation. Now this, before I get into anything, this has kind of taken over the internet because of the controversy of there being 60 shades, but it's kind of 60 shades of the same thing. There's a lot of issues going on with the undertones. There's a lot of issues going on with the ashiness to it. I'm going to have my editor input some clips right now of the lightest shades and the deepest shades. I swatched almost every single one of the lightest and the deepest. So here they are. My hand is a little bit stained, but here are primarily the lighter tone shades, the lightest shades. We have some yellow undertones. So yeah, this is pretty much what we're working with. So I just took the liberty of swatching all of the deeper shades in the Morphe collection. This is them. I know a bunch of you guys were requesting this, so I hope that this is helpful. There's no flash. This is what it looks like. In my opinion, I feel like their intentions were good. I think like 60 shades is really cool. It's really awesome. It's the right direction that we want to be going in for 2019. How freaking ever, the undertones are just a mess. We got yellow, we got ashy, we got gray, we got everything that's like wrong. And I'm even struggling to find my own shade because these undertones are just all over the place. This is kind of like a gray undertone. This is definitely more warm. The undertones are a mess. They included this here that says shades for all babes, and everything looks good in the photos. However, with the swatches, they were yellow. They were yellow, they were ash, they were green. Some even looked green, some of the deeper shades. Like on Twitter, you guys were saying like, wow, that looks green. I totally agree with you guys. Like there is definitely a mess of the undertones of the shade range. I feel like if you're gonna do 60 shades, you have to do it the correct way. Like I said, I don't think that they had bad intentions, but like just because it's 60 shades doesn't mean that it's like diverse, if that makes sense. Now, I have some of the shades here that like I thought this was probably gonna be the best bet for me. This is shade F2.60, and this is a very matte foundation. I still have some staining going on from swatching earlier. We also have primers. They're pretty tiny, so just in comparison to my Smashbox primer, this is the Morphe primer next to it, so it is kind of tiny. You get 0.67 fluid ounces, which is very tiny. My Smashbox one is 1 fluid ounce, so it's about like halfway there, a little bit more than half. And we have a Revitalizer and an Equalizer, and the Revitalizer blurs and softens imperfections, and same with the Equalizer. So the Revitalizer is the one that makes your skin feel moisturized. So this is the one that I am going to use because I do have very dry skin. So let's see how this puppy feels. It smells really good. And let me give you the prices of everything as well. And we also have some concealers, which I feel like the concealers have a very like red-orange undertone in the deeper shades. I will show that later on. So we have our Fluidity foundation for $18. We have the concealer for $9. We have the Morphe primer for $12. There also is a finishing powder. I'm not a big fan of finishing powders, so I'm not going to be testing them out in this video. Definitely check out other influencers who may have used it. Like, I'm not sure who else tested it out yet, but yeah. And then we also have the Fluidity brush and sponge trio, which is $19. colors. It includes this brush. It includes a smaller brush, which I don't really use. And then there was a beauty blender. I don't know where I put it though. I bet you the dog got it. I bet you Junie has it. We are gonna go in with this. I don't have much information about the foundation other than that it is matte. It's full coverage. I don't know if it's long wearing. I don't know much about it like at all. So we are going to like, see, this is just so weird. Like this is shade 60 and then this is 110 and they just look so similar to me. I'm gonna open them up and put them on the back of my hand because I'm just so confused. And I don't normally have a problem shade matching, so the fact that I'm having problems shade matching, they look so similar. You can obviously tell that this one is lighter, but it just, to me, looks so similar. I think I may go with the more darker one. No, I'll probably go with the lighter one. I haven't self-tanned in a while. But anyway, let's apply this. I'm going in with the shade F260 Matte. I think that this is probably going to be our best bet. And then I'm going to zoom you guys on in so that we can get a nice view of everything. Now, just based off of swatches, I have to tell you guys that I do feel like this foundation is a foundation that's going to dry down very fast because the swatches were staining me and that normally does not happen. So I am going to pull out my beauty blender and I'm going to spritz it and start to blend out very quickly because I don't want it to be difficult to blend. So let's just go on in and start the blending process. Yeah, this is a pretty good shade, but even so, putting it on my skin, I feel like it has, I don't know. It smells really good. It definitely has a scent to it. So if you are kind of sensitive to scents, this might bother you. It doesn't bother me. I like a good scent as long as it's not gonna like make me break out, you know what I mean? And I did a pretty hefty squeeze, so I'm gonna go back in and add some more. All right, so now I'm gonna go in and blend on this side, and I definitely do think this is something that you have to blend out fast, so I'm glad that we are doing it kind of side by side. My skin, I'm very blessed with clear skin, so I don't normally need a lot of layers of foundation, but I will say in one layer, this does look pretty nice and pretty covered, but you do need a lot. Like I needed 2 full pumps to kind of get my whole face, just to give you guys a little bit of a heads up with that. You always want to blend down your neck too, ladies and gents. So I would say it definitely evened out my skin tone. If I want to be nitpicky, I could definitely go in and add some more foundation around my under eyes, but we're gonna go in with concealer anyway, so I feel like why do that? Like everything else looks pretty good. It feels okay for right now, you know what I mean? I don't want to give too many first impressions because like it has to set, and I'm gonna be doing a wear test and kind of doing check-ins throughout the day, popping in different times throughout my studio to show you guys. So now we have our concealers, and I actually have the whole PR for the concealers so that I have something to show you guys. This right here is all of the concealers. The top row, it looks very similar. Like these 3 shades or 4 shades right here, even 5, look very similar. And when you get down to the deeper tones, I feel like they have a very red undertone. And I'm not really 100% sure and don't want to ever offend anybody when, you know, talking about women of color, men of color, people of color, but I do feel like these shades are very red. Like, I don't know if that's normal, if that's, like, even this one right here looks like pure orange. So it's just very weird to me, this whole undertone situation scenario. This could probably be good for me. Yeah, that looks pretty good. But like, just to give you an example, the one that looked really orange, I'll swatch some of the deeper shades and some of the lighter shades so that you can get an idea. Swatch the darkest shade, and then let's do a lighter shade too so we can have some to compare. I feel like there's a gray undertone with this lighter one. Like, don't you feel like that's kind of gray looking? I don't know. And then I'm going to also swatch the lightest. So this is like, you know, this is definitely going to be my shade right here. But this is the lightest shade. This is the like second lightest shade. This is the deepest shade. And then this is the shade that looked kind of orange. Just so you guys can get a little bit of an idea. I feel like this one right here, this shade, it's a little bit like gray undertone. This one definitely is very white. This, I feel like, has a red undertone. This is kind of, there's just something very weird going on with the undertones that I think is ridiculous, to be honest. So let's go in with the concealer. I don't know much about the concealer. All I know is that it's full coverage, and that's all I know. So I am going to be using shade C215, and I'm going to be going in now and starting to conceal this puppy. I do like the applicator. It's pretty large, like you could get a lot of surface area, which I like. Cuts down on some time. And I like to add a lot of concealer. You definitely don't have to add this much. I also want to try to use the concealer to contour with. I'm going to pick that out in a second because I have a feeling if I don't blend this out right now, it's going to stick. So I'm going to go ahead and go on in and start to blend. The concealer definitely feels full coverage, whereas like the foundation, like it feels very lightweight. So just be sparingly with the concealer product if you don't like that heavy feeling. Like I definitely added a little bit too much, but that's okay. It's a very creamy feeling concealer, which I like. I have very dry skin, so I like a nice creamy concealer feeling, you know. Also, you guys, I do have a discount code with Morphe. It's NICOL in all caps at the checkout. I get a little commission. You get a 10% off, so it's a win-win for both of us. So if you don't like the Morphe products that I'm using today or, you know, whatever, but like want to maybe test out a brush, you can use my code. And then I want to try to find a shade to contour with, but the problem is there's no cool tones to contour with. So I'm going to go in with the shade C4 4.5, and I feel like this will probably be a good shade to contour with. So I'm just going to go in, get my nose, and then I'm also going to contour my face. I'm wiping off a lot of the product because there is a lot of product that comes on the applicator. I feel like if you don't blend that out like right now though, it's gonna be like a nightmare. So I'm gonna just go ahead, and it's settling already. So you definitely have to, with all of these products, you have to move very fast. But that blended really nicely. As long as you're fast, I feel like this product does blend very nice. Gonna go on in and blend her out. As you guys can see, like right here, it's a little bit harder to blend out in certain areas. My under eyes were okay when I blended out. It could just be maybe the darker colors. I'm not 100% sure. And I'm gonna just go in and blend this out now. I'm gonna do kind of like a swiping motion so that way it doesn't dry too fast. Blend out our nose. I had this cooking for a while, so hopefully it'll blend out okay. I wanna give you guys a little bit of a first impressions while I don't have any powder on. The concealer under my eyes, it feels a little bit heavy, so I would definitely say less is more with that. My face feels pretty good. It's definitely not like drying down to matte, which I like, because if a foundation is already drying and doesn't have like that nice satin finish, you know what I mean? Like a Dior Air Flash finish. Oh, I live for that. But like it's still pretty sticky to the touch. So you definitely need to set this foundation. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my Laura Mercier. My stomach is grumbling. She hungry. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend out any of creasing that may have formed. Less is more with this concealer for sure. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just set my lids as well. And then for me, I like to do like a nice quick set. I don't like to bake. I'm not really here for baking, but I kind of like to push powder into my skin, and then I'll take a bigger fluffy brush and kind of blend out any of the powder that's left. I will say, I feel like my nose looks pretty snatched right now. And then I'm just, again, going in and kind of pushing the powder into the skin. I'm going to put a lot of powder on today because I'm planning on wearing this foundation for like a full ass day to see if it can like, you know, stand the test of time. So now I'm just taking everything and kind of pushing it into the skin. I don't have any additional product on this brush. I'm just kind of taking it and fluffing it around. My dad's in town, you guys, and I'm just so happy that he's here. I miss him so much. I miss my mom too. She's sick. She got an ear infection. Otherwise, she would have been out here as well. Okay, face is set. Pretty happy with the blurriness. Like, I don't feel like it looks like I have a lot of pores. Very happy with that. There is like a weird something or other going on right here. Not really sure what that is. That could just be one of my dry patches acting up, honestly, because your girls got some dry patches this time of year. So I think what our best bet is to do is to just finish the rest of our makeup, pretend like it's a full day, like pretend like I've got errands to run, I gotta do shit, I gotta walk the dogs, whatever. Let's continue to put on our makeup to see how makeup that I know and like and use on a daily basis meshes with the foundation, because sometimes certain foundations won't mesh well with other products, and that's normal. That's like a way of telling if a foundation is good or not, or like works well with certain products or not. So I think that that'll be our best bet here, is to just continue, so that way I can get as thorough of a review as possible for you guys. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go ahead and take my Marc Jacobs bronzer, and I'm going to go and start to contour out the face. Everything feels nice now that it's set with powder. And also, I feel like the way that they displayed the foundation in the PR package, it was done kind of poorly. I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to do different rows of different undertones, but to the public, it just looks like it's the same shades. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like they should have done a better way with the way that they did their PR as well, because PR is everything. That's everybody's first view of a product, you know what I mean? And you want to make sure you do a good job at doing that. And like with the concealers, they did it all in color range order. Like, you know what I mean? They went darkest to light. They should have done that in the PR package, because it's confusing as hell. Even for me, when I opened it, I was like, this shit all looks the same. And I love Morphe. Like, you know, I use their shit all the time. I use their brushes every single day. So I just think they could have done this like a lot better. The way that the shade ranges are, the way that the product was displayed. All right, so it's kind of getting a little muddy right here, so I don't really like that. Again, like with the whole cheek area, something weird is going on. I feel very dry now that I have this powder on. I'm feeling very dry right here. And you can kind of tell because that's where the powder is sitting kind of funny, but we'll see. We'll see what goes on. I'm going to add some bronzer. Now that I have a lot of powder on, and this is something that my skin I normally do, I'm not doing anything out of the ordinary. The only thing that's different is my foundation, and I feel very dry. I normally don't feel this dry, so I just want to point that out. I don't know why I'm talking like this, like Lingardia Velviosa. Like, I don't know why I'm doing that, but shit, my desk is a mess. All right, I'm looking for, do I have her? Ah, here she is. Okay, my Milk Makeup. This is the cream highlighter in Lit. I cannot live without this stuff. It literally keeps my highlight in place all day and makes it pop extra. So if you're looking for a good poppy pop for the new year, my nose looks kind of snatched though. I'm not even gonna like lie. My nose never looks that snatched. And it does have like a nice highlight to itself. It's a very natural, shiny looking highlight, which I like. So this could be really cool to use for an everyday highlighter if you're not like all about the glow 24/7. Let's go in with my Amrezy highlighter. See, it just kind of takes that glow to the next level. Okay, cutesy tootsies. Let's add some blush. And again, I'm really not doing anything out of the ordinary, like doing every step the way that I do, the way that my skin likes and loves. I'm going in with the Lilly Cosmetics blush in the shade Winter Kissed. And I'm just adding this to the apples of my cheeks. This is one of my favorite blushes. If you guys are looking for a good blush, definitely recommend this one. It's really good. Really, really good. All right, you guys. So I applied lashes and lips off camera. I'm going to now spray my skin with the Urban Decay Chill Makeup Setting Spray. It's cool and hydrating. The reason I'm using this one is because I do feel very dry. So I want to kind of hydrate my skin back to where it is, you know? I always like to add a little bit of highlighter when I have a setting spray on because it adds even more of a shine, you know? Just a little, even more, you know? So anyway, this is how the finishing look looks. I feel like my skin definitely looks like blurred and perfected for sure. I don't know if that was the primer or if it was the foundation. I want to say probably the combination of the two because like they got to work hand in hand, you know. I do like the way that everything looks and is settling right now. I'm definitely going to keep an eye on this area, my cheeks and everything. I feel like it looks a little bit better, but you can definitely see a little bit of texture by my cheeks. I don't know what really that is or why it's doing that, to be completely honest, but this side of my face looks like perfect. But yeah, let's do some check-ins. It is currently 12 in the afternoon on Saturday, January 5th. So I am going to go about my day, do some check-ins, come back into my studio, and let you guys know how it goes. Hey, you guys, I just wanted to give you a little update in my house. I've been wearing the foundation now for about 2 hours. I'm going to bring you guys close. It looks pretty good. Obviously, this lighting isn't the best, so don't mind that. But my face still definitely feels like I'm wearing makeup. It has gone down a little bit. I don't know. I have a feeling that it was the concealer that messed me up. I think that is what's the heavy, cakey feeling that I'm feeling, because I don't feel like right here feels fine. My forehead feels fine. It doesn't feel cakey all over. It just feels cakey kind of under my eyes. So I think the concealer is kind of what gave me that feeling. So we'll see. I'm definitely going to do some more check-ins in my beauty room so that you guys can see, but just wanted to give you a little update. Hey, you guys, it has been about, I want to say now, 5 hours of wearing the foundation. I feel like it still looks pretty nice. It just feels very drying. That's the best way to explain it. So, like, if you do have dry skin and you want to wear this foundation, you're going to have to prep, prime the shiznit out of your skin beforehand, because I feel dry. I do. I feel dry, very dry around here. But otherwise, I mean, I like that it's a little bit pore filling. Sorry, you can see. Wait, did I have that before? That texture? I don't know. We're gonna have to do a final debut in the beauty room. I just wanted to do these little check-ins here on my iPhone, so hopefully you guys don't mind them. But I feel like we're still looking pretty good, other than the fact that I have like bags for days. You guys, I just came in from outside. It is so damn cold and pouring rain in LA, which never happens. So I have officially had this foundation on for 10 hours. It is now 10 o'clock at night. I'm very, very tired. And I'm going to zoom you guys on in even closer so we can get a final look on the foundations. I did some check-ins for you guys on my iPhone, so hopefully that was helpful for you guys to see the foundation in different forms of lighting, more realistic lighting, you know what I mean, because not everybody has beauty lights walking around with them. So let me zoom you guys on in. Okay, so we are currently as zoomed in as possible. And I want to say, first of all, I didn't do any touch-ups throughout the day. This is me sitting down after literally 10 hours of wearing this. Usually when I have makeup on, I'm not a big touch-up-y kind of gal. Unless if I'm on vacation, I'll do little touch-ups. I think the actual foundation itself has a very pretty soft blurring effect for sure. However, it's extremely drying. And I noticed that there is a little bit of patchiness going on in this area. I'm not really sure if the camera is able to pick it up, but in real life, I can see it. As far as the long wearing aspect of it, there is foundation coming off around my eyebrows. Again, I'm not 100% sure if it is being picked up on camera. Hopefully it is. However, I do feel like the foundation itself gave me a very pretty blurring effect. The concealer, wasn't a huge fan of the concealer, number one, because it feels very heavy and cakey. And it also, like, you have to work fast with it. And I'm not the kind of person that likes to work fast when I do my makeup. I want to be able to sit down, do it, blend it out as I please, not be in any type of rush. It's not a race. You know what I'm saying when I do my makeup. I do feel like if you do have very dry skin like myself, this could possibly accentuate some of your dry patches. So if you do wind up going out and purchasing this foundation, I recommend hydrating the living shit out of your face beforehand, because I definitely do feel a little tightness here from my dry skin. Usually right here is my problem area with the dry skin, and I can really feel it. There is a little bit of creasing around my nose. I have some smile line creasing, but for me, this isn't too bad, to be completely honest. I've had foundations where it's completely separated and there's no foundation at all, so I would say that that's not that bad. It looks very drying right here. Hopefully everything can get picked up pretty well on camera. Here are my final thoughts. I'm not 100% set on the foundation. If I had to give it a grade from like A+ to failing an F, I would say it's probably a C+ or a B-, but way more a C+, because I've used B- foundations before and have really liked them. This one, I feel like, to be completely honest, I don't know if I would pick it up again. I do really like the soft blurring it has around my pores, but I feel like the pigment is kind of missing in certain areas, and like, you know, I look very dry in this area, and like the wear is coming off. But then again, you know, it all depends on your wear. Like when I was wearing it for like 2-3 hours, I didn't really have any of this loss of the foundation, but I had this weird patchiness from the start. So that's something to keep an eye on. And also, I feel like the shade range could have been a million times better. There are way too many medium shades and shades that look almost identical. I can appreciate and understand where they're going with 60 shades because that is amazing and that is what we want to strive for in 2019. We want to have every person fit in and be able to pick out a foundation because I cannot imagine going to a store and not being able to find my foundation. Luckily, I've never had that happen to me. So, like, you know what I mean? I gotta be a voice for those people that don't have one. You know what I'm saying? I think that the way that the PR was kind of sent was weird as well. There needs to be way more deeper shades, in my opinion. Overall, I really was not that impressed with the foundation. Yes, it's a $12 foundation, but also ColourPop has a $9 foundation that's like literally one of my go-tos. And even drugstore brands like the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth, I think this is like $10 or $12 as well. So I really don't think that there's an excuse. And I mean that in the most polite way possible. Do you know what I mean? I love Morphe. I've always really liked their products and I'm an avid user of their brushes. I think they're almost there. Maybe if I did a second layer of the foundation, it would have been better as well. I didn't think to even do that because normally I don't have to do a second layer. But yeah, for the most part, I give it a C+. I have to say the concealers are definitely like a D+. I did not like the concealers. The foundation, I want to give it another chance, but I don't really see myself reaching for it, if I'm being blatantly honest. I really don't ever see myself reaching for it again. So yeah, I'm so sorry that this video was so lengthy. There just was a lot of hot goss around it, so I wanted to make sure I covered everything and every topic and showed you guys every little bit of my face. In 2019, we are being brutally honest. We are being thorough as hell. And we're just gonna, you know, be ourselves. Because that's just what it is at the end of the day. Makeup is fun. And I want to make makeup fun again. And I feel like I'm rambling. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. But yeah, I want to make makeup fun again. And I feel like 2019 is the year where, like, let's just F it and let's just have fun. And I was not having fun with this foundation. So I gotta just be honest. And yeah, leave me a comment down below what you guys thought. Oh, and one thing I did want to mention, that this foundation would probably be bomb for normal to oily skin because it's very mattifying. I feel like it would be bomb for oily skin types. And if you are going to try out this foundation, I highly recommend going to a Morphe store if you can. I'm not 100% sure if this foundation will be in Ulta. I will try to find that out for y'all, but I would 110% go in stores, shade match yourself, because online it's complicated and like I said, there's a lot of different undertones. You have to be able to swatch, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you so much. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. I love y'all, and I'll see you next time. Bye.